I've been told again that this meeting is being recorded, so now we are live and we're engaged and ready to go. Unfortunately, my co-host could not be here today, but it's okay. It's all right. The show has got to continue. And as I say the show has got to continue, we really got to move on with the Toben series podcast. Today we got a special one for me in particular, a former teammate of mine, someone I've known for a long time. I think we grew up together playing against each other from grade 7. I've seen the evolution of this guy's game from grade 7, all the way till now, being a pro basketball player. We have pro basketball player, former collegiate basketball player, but a good friend of mine, Denny Mcdonald, in the building. How are you doing today, man?
I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm glad to be on your show. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to a great show. And it's just an honor to be a part of the podcast that you guys have started.
Hey, like I said, man, you being someone that I've known for such a long time, it's definitely an honor to have you on our show. And it's going to be a great one today because you and I have some chemistry from long time. I still have a picture of you and I sitting down in the bleachers during a game when we played for Mississauga Pride. And
I need to see that picture. I need to see that picture. That's crazy.
A lot has changed since then. You got some facial hair. I had some hair on my head. A lot has changed.
Don't worry, fam. I'll be there soon. That's why I got this hat on.
I can put the hood on, but it's okay. It's okay.
Right. We all don't have millions to be able to put on the little Tory Lanez little thing going on at the top.
Hey, but speaking of that though, LeBron James, is he bald or is that all money?
Oh, he's balding. The money. Hey, LeBron's my guy, but the money can't even help that hairline right now, LeBron. I'm sorry.
He's got to come home, man. He's got to come home. He's got to come home. But
he's got to come home, man.
As we always start off with the show. We usually start off with the show with Devontae. Unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, he's not here today. But I'm going to take us down a trip down memory lane before we get on to talk about you and your basketball career. Mississauga Pride. You and I both played on that same team together. What did Tennyson do for you in general? Obviously Tennyson been your guy. You've known Tennyson for a minute. What did he do for you, man? To be able to evolve your basketball career.
Listen, Tennyson, man, he really laid the foundation. I mean, he was doing things that other coaches I just knew weren't doing at the time, and probably even now. Like, he really laid the foundation in a way where with all of us, it literally felt like family. And before a coach, he was like a father figure, like to everybody. Like anybody that played under Tennyson knew that he brought that family discipline, and like he just expected the best from you.
Mm-hmm.
He had that stern voice. Like, you have this skinny guy, small guy with a stern ass, deep ass voice, and it was like that was the start of my career. And like playing with Tennyson was the first time I ever even picked up a basketball. So it literally went from him seeing me not knowing how to play to like so much growth.
Yeah, for sure. No, and that's definitely, you nailed it on the head with that one. Even for me, my experience with Tennyson is a little different. But for you, I've definitely been able to see your progress, from Tennyson, from I think it was Oakville Vitas days, or not Oakville Vitas, Mississauga Wolverines,
Oakville Vitas,
Oakville Venoms.
Oakville Venoms.
Oakville. You know what I'm saying? You really progressed with that team and with him as a coach, and to be able to see all that was definitely great to see. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you became the player you are today, which is great to see. But I want to ask you though, obviously, like you mentioned, you said Tennyson being kind of like a family guy, a father figure to you. How important is family to you?
Oh, it's very important. I mean, especially now, like raising a family of my own, as you can see the car seat in the back, I got my little son, and God has blessed me, and I have another one on the way. And I have so much to be thankful for. So now them getting a fresh start on life, it's like I'm going to be able to impose and drill in all the things that I've learned along the years and mold them into exactly how I want them to be. I mean, look at the Ball brothers. Look at what LeVar Ball has done for his sons. I mean, it's a new wave. It's a new age, and there's going to be endless opportunities to come. So in the meantime, while my little kitties are small running around, is yo, by the time they, come of age, they'll be so far ahead of the game. It's funny.
Hey, honestly, I hope they get your genes. I hope they get your athleticism, and your height and everything, because we need more Denny Mcdonald's in the world, basketball wise. Now we need more y'all in the world.
I respect that. I appreciate that for sure.
You know,
And still got it too. I mean, I may
hey, I
have
believe
some
you.
little, I may have some little my dad bods in effect and the marriage bodies in effect, but I still got it.
when she's pregnant, you're pregnant too.
Exactly. That's facts. That is facts.
Obviously, you touched up on it. You know, you said you're married and everything. Talk to all the lover man out there about what it's like to be married.
Oh man, it's just like a whole new responsibility. Like you basically got like people depending on you, like now
Yeah.
I've extended my family to a family of 4, and it's like I'm the head of the household. They look up to me to be the provider, and I'm gonna be all that. You know what I mean? So it's a challenge, but it's a challenge that I'm willing to accept, and it adds a lot of growth and a lot of purpose. So for the love of months, like that's the number one way to build. Number one way to build. There ain't no other way to build. What's
I
the
get
point
that.
of having all this success you can't share with? I mean, the bachelor life isn't the end of all be all, like there's more out there.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir, man. You're definitely preaching to the choir on that one, because I can respect that. You obviously being a man of God. What has God been able to? How has God been able to impact your life? Obviously, you're married. You have a son right now. You have another one on the way. But what are some other ways that God's been able to impact you in your life?
Yeah, listen, God has been working in my life since the very beginning. Like I've always been in favor when it comes to the Lord working in my life, because he's made so many things happen for me. He created so many opportunities, and not just with basketball, with just life as a whole. Like he has always been someone that kind of just paved the way, and I just follow in faith, I just keep the faith along, and this journey has been nothing but good things along the way. It obviously has its ups and downs, but as long as you have life, I mean,
Yeah.
what more could you ask for, right?
And not only do you have your life, but like we mentioned a couple of times already, you've given life to 2 other people as well. So God has definitely worked in your favor. You're going through a pandemic. You've been able to stay healthy. Your family's been able to stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, I've been able to work in your favor in that way as well. Keeping you healthy throughout a pandemic. Obviously, this is a little bit more fun, a little more fun question for you. You're from the west side of the GTA. They say that the best hoopers come from the Peel area, whether it's Brampton or Mississauga area. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, let me just say this right now for everybody out there. Mississauga is making a great case right now. I mean, you got 2. How many Mississauga players you got in the playoffs right now? You got Dylan Brooks killing right now, locking up Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? Playing both ends of the court. Like, bro,
hell yeah.
Listen, that man's making everybody proud, And you got RJ Barrett, of course, went to Marcy's for what, a year or 2 or whatever. And he's at the Knicks doing his thing too. So, I mean, we have a pretty strong case right now for who the best hoopers coming out, and no disrespect to all the other places. Like, there's been hoopers, you know what I mean? And let's face it, like a little bit of luck goes with it too. But you know what? Work ethic always prevails. And those guys that are balling right now, that's what they've been doing. And now their time is now.
For sure. So I got a question for you, man. If there was a game of the top 10 guys from Brampton and the top 10 guys for Saga, you're being chosen as one of those top 20. But you get to choose to pick either to play on Mississauga or to play on Brampton. Who are you rocking with?
Man, Brampton has such great hoopers too. It's not even funny. Oh my gosh, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. I mean, bro, there's so many of them. It's crazy. It's so like, and I'm not gonna act like I know all of them, but I gotta stick to my grounds, my stomping grounds, and rep Saga. You know what I mean? Again, like look at who's doing it now. Like from Saga, you got RJ Barrett and so who else is there? I know there's Olenek from BC. He about to get
Yep.
swept. I mean, who else is there? You got Nikhil. Nikhil, he's from. Where's Nikhil from?
He's from like
There's a couple
Vaughan,
guys, you know,
Toronto,
but
yeah.
yeah, there's a couple guys, you know, but I'm just focusing on whoever's in the playoffs right now because hey, that's for all the marbles, bro. You know,
Yeah.
and
Hell
it's
yeah.
not to say that there's not other good hoopers out there like that may have just missed the playoffs or they're building their careers, but I'm just literally going based off who's in playoffs right now, who's putting the numbers, you know, who's performing
Yeah.
at this level, who is extending their season. And
Yep.
right now, correct me if I'm wrong, I got those two guys, RJ Barrett and Dylan Brooks, both Saga natives. Is there anyone else I missed? Please do let me know. But I'm rocking with those guys. I'm rooting for them and seeing how far they can take it. Oh, and obviously Jamal Murray. That's probably one of my favorite players. Favorite. I'm not even gonna just say Canadian. Like that's just like my literally like one of my favorite players. Like Canadian or not, like you know, like it's time we start getting some recognition for some players out here. Jamal Murray, Wiggins, RJ Barrett, Dylan Brooks, like the rest of the league, it doesn't even matter. Those guys are putting the rest of the league on notice, fam, on notice, and they're still not giving the recognition. It's almost like when the Raptors won, oh, there always has to be an excuse why they won, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it always has to, but you gotta respect the GM, what is his name? Messiah
Ujiri.
Like, yeah, I just listened to one of his videos the other day, and he's like, yo, that's old news. 2019, we got that chip 2 years ago. It's about what are we doing now?
What are we doing now?
And like that mentality is amazing. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Like it's not just about winning one championship. No, he's going after trying to get a next one. And that's what separates the good from the great. That's what separates the rest from the pack, you know?
Yep.
So, yeah, man.
You are 100% correct, and honestly, I think you rocking with those Mississauga guys would definitely be a good thing for you too. You know, just based on how you play and everything. But I got a different one for you. You know, something similar but different. With Space Jam coming out, you know, they obviously have a Looney Tune versus a Monstars team. What team would you be? Or sorry, would you want to be a Looney Tune or a Monstar?
Well, I haven't seen the new Space Jam yet. I don't know if it's out.
Hasn't come out yet. But just Space Jam in general.
Yeah. So would I want the Looney Tunes or the Monstars? That's your question?
Yeah.
I probably have to go to Looney Tunes because I mean they end up winning in the end anyways. So I'm gonna rock with the people's champs, the people's choice, and go with the Looney Tunes, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Fair enough. I got a question for you though. You know, obviously this is a Toben series podcast. What does Toben basketball mean to you?
Oh, Toben means everything to me, man. Like those guys are awesome, man. Like Tony, what he does is amazing. You know, he's collected basically all the best players around the GTA. And we go out and go win some tournaments, win some money. You know what I mean? Like when Toben walks through the place, you already know who's winning that tournament. You know, it's almost like they want to ban us from entering certain tournaments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yo, it means a lot. It means a lot. Just the fact that I was able, and a couple of us were able to like continue playing at that level, you know, and what he's been trying to do is trying to bring more spotlight on trying to get some guys like some contracts or whatever the case may be for what their goals and aspirations are. But it was really a great thing. And I mean, the pandemic kind of sussed it like it sussed everything else, but hopefully moving forward, we can have some bigger and better things that we can work on moving forward. But it means a lot to me. Like, I love those guys. Those guys are family. I enjoy so much playing in all the tournaments with them, you know? So it means a lot to us, and it means a lot for the city as well. Because actually, funny enough, before Tony started Toben, I don't know if you know Teddy. Teddy had Toronto 3D,
Okay.
and it's much like what Tony's doing. You gather all the best players and you go on circuits and tournaments and for exposure, whether that's landing a contract or whether you're just trying to play summer tournaments to stay right for the summer. Like it was great, and kind of like when I was first with Teddy, that's what I was doing, and then I transitioned to meeting and working with Tony, and it's been great. It's been awesome.
Shout out Coach Tony, man. Shout out Coach Tony. I got to ask you, though, how did you meet Coach Tony?
So I think it was a GTA Pro-Am at Mississauga, what do you call it? The Paramount, what's that? The Hershey Center.
Hershey Center.
Yeah, so basically, I don't remember what happened, but I think someone was coaching one of the teams, and then Tony filled in, and then he started coaching my team.
Okay.
And since that day, it's like, it just was like magic. Like it just happened so organically where I'm playing for Tony. Like it's like I transitioned from playing with Teddy to then playing with Tony. And it's been great. We never looked back. Like we just started rocking out, started building the teams, started just building that chemistry,
Right.
and that was like what, like four years ago, maybe 5.
Wow.
And he just appeared one day. I don't know where he came from. He just appeared, and I saw that he was coaching my team during the summer GTA Pro-Am.
Yeah.
And we just never looked back. We just been rocking out since,
And that's where we talked about earlier with God coming into your life and kind of just putting people in the right positions at the right time and giving you opportunities, So shout out to, and that's another way for God to show everybody his strength. But I got to ask you though, it's you plus 4 in a 5-on-5 game. It's for the championship. Which other 4 Toben players are you picking with you to go rock for that championship?
Oh my God, you're trying to put me in trouble right now, Doc. If I leave anybody out, I wish I had a list in front of me, but why not go with the guys that I win with? I mean, nothing beats that. We got to put Josh Collins there. He's number 1.
Yep.
You got to put Negus there for sure. Who else? You got to put Reynolds. I mean, that's my guy. You got to put Reynolds there.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. You got to put KG, my guy.
Kadeem Green. Shout out Kadeem.
Green. You got to put Kadeem. And for the 5th spot,
it's gonna be you.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. But if I had some subs, I'll definitely put what's my boy name there? Shit, I missed Dingel. You gotta put Dingel in there. You can't diss Dingel like that. Dingel has to go there.
So who are you taking out then? Who are you taking out?
I don't know, dog. I gotta put Dingel in there. And you could throw in Dwayne Notice too. He also came up and played with Toben a couple tournaments. But I rock with all those guys, man. I rock with all those guys. These guys are all great athletes. They've all are legends in their own right and have made the best of their careers.
Yeah, for sure. And they've all had great university careers as well. But speaking of university, though, you obviously went to Trinity Western. You had over Trinity Western. Why did you choose Trinity Western and not try to go the typical Division I route?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, the Division I route was always the mission, and as I would assume for any baller athlete out there right now and before. But yeah, the Division I thing didn't work out for me. Unfortunately, I didn't qualify. You know what I'm saying? But through all that, I was able to land Trinity Western. And honestly, it was probably one of the best decisions for me because it helped me become a complete athlete. So that's the academics first, of course. And then it allowed me to be a student athlete. And it was a great experience. And aside from that, Now, the fact that I wasn't able to go D1, what pushed me towards Trinity was the fact that the scholarships was covered. So I would have loved to go to Ryerson or somewhere at home, but they weren't providing full scholarships.
Yeah.
At that time, the only schools that was providing full scholarships was St. Mary's and Trinity Western. So I kind of made my decision based off that, because I mean, who wouldn't want a full ride somewhere, right? And if you're not going D1, there's only such limited schools that were offering that at the time. I don't know about now, but at that time, it was only between Trinity Western and St. Mary's.
Fair enough.
I ended up picking Trinity Western.
I got a few more for you over here. A couple more about Trinity Western and into your pro career. But I want to ask you though, who was your favorite teammate?
Favorite teammate? Wow. Oh man. Like at Trinity Western or just
Trinity Western. Trinity
Western. Jeez. Oh man, my favorite teammate. I'd have to pick two guys still. I can't just pick one.
Okay. Well,
I can't pick one. One would be my guy Justin Bakuteka, who's actually still living in BC right now. Shout out to Jay Back. That's my guy. He was roommate. He was a great friend and roommate / player to have throughout the rough journey of Trinity Western. And then my other guy, Calvin Smith. He's from Cali. Shout out to Calvin from Cali. He made the transition from Cali to Trinity Western, and those are my two guys that I rock with for sure.
But give us your most embarrassing story for them. Give us two or one story for both of them that is embarrassing.
Embarrassing. Okay. One story does come to mind, but I'm not trying to do too much. But let's see. That's kind of tough. I haven't even thought about what would be an embarrassing moment. Embarrassing moment. Well, I wouldn't say embarrassing, but one moment that I remember with my boy Calvin was it wasn't really embarrassing, really, but like there's this guy that was going up to like dunk it during a game, and me and Calvin just happened to block this guy at the same time, and it was just like double rejection. And we actually have a picture from it. And I know it sounds kind of corny, but I literally can't think of anything else, so that's the best I can do for that. But Justin, on the other hand, Justin, my guy, what did we embarrassing moment? Oh, okay. Okay, I got something. One time, let's see. Okay, so we got super lit the night before. We got super lit. That's what college is all about. You have fun, you party. We got super lit, and he's like, "Yo, Denny, I have an important meeting tomorrow with this guy who I'm gonna be training his kids. No matter what, please wake me up. No matter what." Yo, we got so drunk that night, it was crazy. We got super drunk, and then 6 a.m. hits, because I think he was supposed to meet with the guy at 7 a.m. 6 a.m. hits. I'm like, "Yo, J-Back, yo, you got the meeting. You got to go meet with the guy to go train his kid or whatever." I'm like, "Yo, J-Back." He looks at me. He's like, "Fuck that." Like, I went back to sleep, yo, it's just one of those like, you're not waking up for nothing, bro. You're just not waking up. And he knew that as important as that was to not burn that bridge and move forward with that guy and probably make some money and stuff. He just like, "Yo, I'm shit-faced right now. I cannot make it. I'm sorry." So that's just something we always laughed about. And I always bring it back up to him. Yeah.
No, that's definitely fair, man. That is definitely fair. I just want to ask you one more question about Trinity Western. In the years that you were there, what were you able to come out with, you know, and always remember? And on top of that, were you happy with the decision you made, you know, by going to Trinity Western? I know you mentioned it earlier that you were it was a good choice for you, but were you happy with when everything was said and done?
You know, when everything's said and done, it's always like, wish you could have done this or wish you could have done that. But I just took the experience and learned from it. You know what I mean? I know looking back, like, because for us it was tough. We had such a talented squad. We had Anthony Otley, we had Mark Perrin, we had Calvin, we had Tristan, we had Justin. Like, we were such a talented squad that could have went so far. But yo, the truth is we struggled very bad, and it wasn't us. And I don't want to put the blame on anybody, but I'm gonna put the blame on Scott Allen. Like, our head coach was like, yo, I have love for him, but yo, he was a tool. He was a tool, man. Like, because our team was so talented, but he just didn't know how to lead. He didn't know how to lead us. Like, we were dealing with too much turmoil and too much toxic things that just didn't allow us to be great and tap into our full potential. And we had such hard, like, we didn't just worry about being we couldn't just worry about being athletes, and that's the best environment to play in. If you just have to worry about being an athlete and just hoop. But yo, it wasn't like that for us. We couldn't just hoop, bro. It was madness, really. And I think a lot of guys have experiences like that in basketball at every level, right? So we just try to make the best of it. We knew if we went elsewhere like Ryerson or so, like, if I could do it over again, I would probably pick Ryerson, to tell you the truth. You know what I mean? But it's at the same time, I wouldn't trade it for the guys that I met along the way. Like, those are my brothers for life. You know what I'm saying? And it happened for a reason. So I'd much rather just take that approach, and I can live with that. You know what I mean?
I hear that. No, for sure, for sure. After Trinity Western, though, you became a pro basketball player, right? And
yes,
what did you expect becoming? You know, when after you, wow, I don't know why I'm getting some tongue twisted right now. After you became a pro basketball player, you know, what were some expectations, or prior to going into that first year of becoming a pro basketball player, what were some expectations that you had?
You know, I had very big expectations, you know, but at the same time, it was like I didn't really know what to expect. You know what I mean? But yeah, my expectations were to really have a long, lustrous, like, pro career. And I mean, unfortunately, I didn't have that, you know? And it's not the easiest thing, man. Like, I mean, you got so many talented guys out there, and sometimes it's not even just about talent, bro. Sometimes it's about a little bit of luck, a little bit of opportunity, the timing's right, having the right people around you, you know? So for hoopers out there that, like, don't beat yourself up, man. Like, just think about how many guys even make the NBA. Like, even the whole Kwame Brown thing that, like, has been going on. Like, I have to respect Kwame Brown, because, like, the whole media is saying, yo, this guy's a bust, for 18 years, bro. Like, when are you gonna talk about something new? The man was able to buy a whole house for his family. How many guys to say they did that? You know what I mean? But, oh, he's a bust, he's a this, he's a that. Like, we need to stop painting that narrative for Black people specifically. You know what I mean? Like, we can't keep tearing each other down. Like, we constantly in the media, and it's not always for great things. So anybody out there as an athlete doing a great thing, let's give them their flowers now. Let's applaud them. Let's, you know, for sure. Because it's not easy, man. It's not easy. Like, going in, having all these high expectations about having a illustrious 10-year career, making all the money in the world. That's just not what it was. I didn't make the most money in the world. I didn't last 10 years as a pro, you know, but I tried my very best, put my best foot forward, and did what I had to do to, you know, sustain myself and keep it moving.
As we conclude over here, I got a couple more for you about being a pro. You know, I want to ask you, though, like, how did people's perspective of you change after you signed your pro contract?
It never really changed, to be honest. Like, I think for me, I always had people who just thought, like, I was just excelling and just going beyond new heights. Like, I guess I had that kind of persona or perception, you know what I mean? But it never really changed. People have always been encouraging, and I never had any bad experiences to be like, oh, he's pro, or oh, he's not pro anymore, or oh, he lost that contract. No, like people always gave me positive vibes, and I'm comfortable with that. And I haven't had any experiences to say, oh, you love the guy when he's balling, but what about when he's not balling? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, last question before we conclude. I want to ask you though, what was one thing that you learned about becoming a pro basketball player? Whether it's politics, whether it's just whether it's from different teammates, whether it was how to save your money. What is one thing you can share with us on what you learned from becoming a pro?
From becoming a pro, I learned how to build relationships and apply basketball like everyday life, because it doesn't matter what you get into, the same concept applies, right? You go in, you take what you learn, and then you perfect your craft, and you want to do better the following year. You're always trying to better yourself. You're always trying to make the better version of you. So that's why it doesn't matter what you do. It's if you are making the best version of yourself and you are at a better place than you were the previous year. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? You're not going to stay in the job if your money's going down instead of going up. You get what I'm saying? So that same thing applies to everyday life, to basketball, so that's the number one thing I learned. And if I didn't learn it through ball, I would have probably learned it through something else.
No, for sure. I want to ask you though, to conclude the show, I want to ask you, who is someone that you'd like to see on Talk Your Exposure? But here's the kicker though. You got to help us get them on the show if we can't get them.
Jeez, I like that. I like that. Okay. I already have somebody in mind, man. This guy's very influential. He's doing great. I want to put some recognition on him because he's my boy. I live through him because he's still able to hoop through all this madness. So no other than, you want me to reveal who it is?
Yes, sir.
All right. Khalid.
I like that one.
Khalid,
I like that one.
Guy.
I like that one.
That's my guy. Yep.
That'd be a good one to have, to be honest with you. He has a lot of good things to talk about. He has a great story to talk about.
Oh, his story's holy cow. I can't wait. Like, can I actually come back on the show and just be there while you interview him?
Hey, for sure. Hey, man, you're always welcome on the show, bro. Hey, honestly, to have you on our show, like I said, bro, you're like a brother to me, man. I've known you I've known you for at least 15, 16 years now. You know what I mean? With Muzzier and Savano and Tyree and Tennyson and all those guys, right? So that team was a solid team, man. That grade 8, grade 9. Well, I didn't play with you guys in grade 9, but that grade 8 team was a solid team. You guys continued that trend with Kayon and Fidel and Cordell and those guys, But honestly, bro,
shout out to all my guys, Kayon, Fidel. I seen Benson the other day. Just linked up with him. That was cool. Benson, bro. Benson's still around kicking, So it was nice, man. You really cherish those times now, looking back at the day and age we're in now, No,
for sure, man, for sure. But then I got to ask you though, where can we find you on social media?
Okay, so on IG you can find me at DAM Athletics. That's DAM.athletics. And on Twitter, you can find me at Denny_MCD. I don't really use it all that much. I kind of use it more for like business right now. But and then Facebook, you can reach me at Denny Mcdonald.
Make sure y'all give my guy a follow. You know what I mean? He does follow back. He definitely does follow back. I don't know if he's gonna follow everybody back, but he'd follow me back though. Being a friend and everything. But one more time, we want everybody to make sure that they subscribe to Talk Your Exposure on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcast from. Hit the notification button so you never have to miss an episode. Hit us up on YouTube under RWI Basketball. And again, we're live with Denny Mcdonald, who has a lot of good stories to talk about today. That's my guy, like I said. Danny, we appreciate you again. We hope nothing but love for you and nothing but safety for you and your family. Continue to be blessed by God and continue to stay blessing and stay positive during this time.
Most definitely. I appreciate you having me on your show.